Okay, we're still working on this black wire here on the third ESC. Get it put in here. I did clip some of it away, and sometimes you can add some solder to it to make it stiff, and if you get a very small diameter on this, you can get it too. There we go. A little bit of solder. What do you know? It went in. So the black wire's in. Let's quickly solder this wire in before it falls out, and that's going to conclude this ESC. The black wire just popped out. Reheating it to bring it back, and it popped out entirely. So this went very bad, and we gotta suck out the solder again. These things happen. So let's suck the solder back out. Starting from underneath. Suck it out. Came out. Let's put the black wire back in. This black wire, let's give it a tug to get some slack on it. Now there's no more slack. And now it's got like a piece of solder on top of it. Can we get it back in this hole? Nope. Let's get the needle nose and try and form the wire a bit. There's a glob of solder on the end of it, which may or may not help us. The takeaway on this is we should have not let this wire fall back out. Okay, it's in there, but we know how touchy this wire is, so really want it, yeah, it fell back out. Really want to get this wire in here. If I could hold this board like this, it would work. Can we put something on it to hold it? Now you can see how hacky this whole operation is. At least with me. Okay, now when I heat the black wire again, I don't want it flying out on me. Let's see how it goes. There, this ought to work. Heating up. It's hot. Let the solder suck in. Done. Okay, so that black wire, it's not the greatest connection, but it's not going to go anywhere. This is probably the worst ESC I've ever put in. Okay, well, it's serviceable. So now the problem is I have this little lens, and it's tangled up in here. It would be nice to untangle it, so unfortunately we have to take it apart to untangle it, and for that we need the small Phillips screwdriver, which is here. So we'll turn off the iron for a minute, take out the LED here from this lens, so we can untangle the wire that goes to the LED to give it more slack. There's two really small screws here that you don't want to really lose. There we go. I heard one hit the cardboard. I've taken the other small screw out. So our objective here is to pull this plug out of this LED card. It plugs out. Here's what the little LED card looks like if the camera can focus on this. I don't think it can. Small LED card. This one would be the back of the copter. This would be a white LED. Now here's the wire which I've tangled up in here, so we're going to pull it out of this mess like that. Now it's nice and long again. Plug it back into this little card here that has the white LED. Okay, it's in. Now, to put this thing back together, I've always found it's nice to put these screws in here first. And they're so small, it'll drop them, so maybe you can use these needleless pliers. Like this. So can you see how it's not worth crashing this thing? How much work this is? Now you feel pretty stupid when you crash it, because you forget how much work this is. So do you think I'm going to be a little more careful next time after this is my second crash fix? And I got this thing crashed when my buddy crashed it, so he gave it to me when he crashed it, so, and I've crashed it now twice, so. The guts of this thing have been reused. Whoa, that screw just flew somewhere. So this can happen. I heard the screw go in this box. It went flying in here. I don't see it. The screw hit the box. Anyway, that could be gone for good. Let's try and get at least one of them in. And that's going to be it for this ESC. Yeah, I have a rug in this room, so the screw is going to be long gone. Well, I'm going to stop the video here because this is kind of a ridiculous situation, and we'll continue.